that Prince Harry is planning a shameless return to the UK in 2026 with a plan to, and I quote, sow the seeds for a semi-permanent return to his country.
Harry is on the verge of some type of serious meltdown here. We saw it with a quite deranged statement released to try and say...
It seems like Harry is finally catching up to what the world has been saying about the once beloved Duchess of Sussex. Has the prince finally reached his breaking point? And if so, what does this say for the once beloved glamorous couple that took the world by storm with their charm?
In love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body, and mind, as Christ is united with his bride, the Church. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together in the delight and tenderness of
charisma and modern fairy tale image. The questions are endless and the speculation is intense. Back in 2018, when Harry and Meghan tied the knot, it was nothing short of a star-studded, heavily glamorized spectacle. The media dubbed it the royal wedding of the century, a modern fairy tale signaling a break from conventional norms, a statement that promised to reshape royal tradition forever. Fast forward 7 years later, and what was once hailed as groundbreaking has dramatically shifted, taking a turn that has left the royal family and public observers questioning everything about the couple and their influence on the monarchy. Since that moment, controversies, drama, scandals, and tensions have followed what was supposed to be the start of something fresh, bold, and innovative.
Duchess of Sussex will step down from all future royal duties. It was confirmed that the couple will lose their public funding and no longer use their royal titles.
Well, last night, Prince Harry addressed the situation in public.
A pace-setter in the royal world. It's no secret that the former Suits star has been making constant headlines, and often not for the reasons anyone would hope. She has been at the forefront of controversies, scandals, public outcry, and backlash from both the media and the public, turning every action into a spectacle watched by millions. Ever since stepping into the royal family through her marriage to the Duke of Sussex, Meghan and Harry's relationship has been under the unrelenting gaze of the world, scrutinised from the moment they said, "I do." Millions observed every public appearance, every gesture, and every word, both online and offline.
What I want to make clear is, we're not walking away. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding.
Even after the famous Megxit, which documented the couple stepping back from their royal duties as senior working royals to pursue financial independence in 2020, the world's attention did not wane. It intensified, creating new waves of discussion and speculation. This decision made headlines, and for a time, it felt like the world had erupted into full-blown chaos. Accusations against Meghan ran rampant.
It was unprecedented. There was a public backlash, not against their decision to step back. I think there's huge sympathy for the idea that they weren't happy and that they want to live a more peaceful life, as it was put in that statement.
Coupled with racist tabloid coverage that targeted anything and everything about the Duchess of Sussex. From her family to her background, her behaviour and her career, nothing escaped public scrutiny. This was far from your average royal drama. It was a seismic challenge to an institution that had remained steadfast for centuries, now being questioned by an outsider. Despite the backlash, the couple moved across the pond to California in mid-2020, seeking freedom and a life away from the rigid confines of royal expectation. This move, although unprecedented,
presents a shock reversal of Megxit when the Sussexes relinquished their HRH titles, his and her Royal Highness, and moved to North America.
Wasn't motivated by a desire to undermine the institution. It came from a longing for freedom, peace, and the chance to build something independently, without the limits and restraints that had always accompanied royal life. But now, it seems the Duke of Sussex might be feeling homesick. Is he crumbling under the weight of the choices and steps he took to distance himself from the royal family just a few years ago? The speculation is growing louder. The question gained traction following a 647-word essay titled "The Bond, the Banns, the Brave."
The royalist where Tom Sykes writes, Prince Harry has inadvertently sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the US.
What it means to be British, shared by Prince Harry himself. In it, he fondly reflects on the things he loves about Britain, unapologetically praising his homeland, a notable contrast to previous statements, like when he once said the thing he missed most about the UK was the sky. One particular excerpt has been under intense scrutiny. Though currently I may live in the United States, Britain is and always will be the country I proudly served and fought for. Many observers and critics interpreted this as a cry for help from the prince, a subtle sign of homesickness, and longing for the joys of the country he once called home. One user on X expressed similar feelings, insinuating that Harry wants to go home so bad, and that he may indeed have reached his breaking point. Behaviour expert Judy James highlights that words like may currently indicate an ongoing interest, a desire to return to the place of his birth and the home where he has spent the longest time, signalling that his current situation has taken a noticeable toll on him.
You replied, F.O. Harry, but you added, Harry wants to go back to the UK so bad, it's scary. He's on the verge of a mental breakdown.
First, the marriage, the move, and the media frenzy. All these factors together have led many to wonder, has it finally caused the prince to realise that enough is enough? Could it be that he's now considering a shameful return to the royal palace? This speculation is further supported by a comment Harry made to a podcaster about not being a US citizen. However, not everyone shares this interpretation. Some see the essay, written in honour of Remembrance Day, as a respectful acknowledgement of his military service, though others argue it exaggerates his experiences, adding a layer of controversy to the discussion.
I mean, Harry's language about the United Kingdom has totally changed. Do you remember he wouldn't used to praise the United Kingdom at all? It was like, no, LA is my home. I'm never, ever going back. He was pretty negative about it, or he couldn't even say anything positive. So, Stephanie, what's your reading on this? Just go into your post on X a little bit more.
The once highly favoured power couple, who were seen as modern and radical, with a love that transcended barriers despite being worlds apart, continues to captivate public fascination, intrigue, and discussion. The once highly favoured power couple, who were seen as modern and radical, with a love that transcended barriers despite being worlds apart. It was one for the books. The American actress and the British prince, many could imagine the greatness that might have come from their union, celebrating their nuptials with the world watching. Alas, maybe it should have just stayed in the books because reality has proved to be quite the opposite of what could have been. And now it seems like the younger son of King Charles might just be plotting his escape from the very life he once had. How do you go from someone who grew up with the world in the palm of his hands? He had the wealth, the privilege, and the status that so many dreamed of, but very few could ever hope to attain. And yet, he gave it all up for a woman that the world has dubbed as calculative, narcissistic, and even a bully. She has been at the epicenter of every negative headline, despite her PR team's desperate attempts to wean off bad press and magically fix every disaster that seemed to follow her. From the Balenciaga show controversy to the rumors that the once perfect couple had fallen apart, some question whether it was ever real from the beginning. From their famous exit to the Oprah interview, to their Netflix documentary, everything has been dissected. The couple has always put up a front of togetherness, showing that they had each other's backs with every smile, every handhold, and every over-the-top display of PDA.
For some reason, he left all that for Meghan. And Meghan, who is, in my opinion, a narcissist, is driving him insane.
He's in an abusive relationship.
Some argue that it was simply an extension of Meghan's acting career, an elaborate performance to maintain relevance and the image of being a perfect duo, despite their long-standing cries for privacy, which they have been vocal about for years. This desire for privacy was even cited as one of the reasons behind the infamous Megxit move. Now the Duke, who many have tagged as a backstabber and a betrayal to the country, seems to want back in. After years of taking both silent and loudly public jabs at the UK, the monarchy, and the very institution that shaped who he is today, not to mention the snide remarks he has made about the British people he once represented. Over the years, both the Duke and Duchess of Sussex haven't held back. Their opinions, criticisms, and thoughts about the royal family, the monarchy, and the British press have been aired for the world to see. They have gone to great lengths in the media, making everyone aware of how stifling royal life was and how badly they were treated. Yet, they cannot seem to let go of their titles, holding on to them desperately as a last line of defence against threats to their ever-declining relevance. What has become of the once-envied relationship, once thought to be perfect and described as a freedom fight, has now taken a turn into something closer to regret, longing, and even animosity between the couple.
Trying to win over Brits like me and make us just forget, right, that you literally called us all racists in your Netflix documentary for backing Brexit, and that you accused the royal family of also being racist. It's just nuts.
In a video revealed by Meghan herself from her home security system, a moment meant to be seen as sweet and loving during the World Series game was shared. She surprised Harry by coming into their home theatre, leaning down to hug and kiss him in celebration of the Dodgers' win. What was intended to seem like a loving, intimate moment between a couple who had weathered storms together and were still standing strong was interpreted by many differently. Some saw it as if Harry were being held hostage, with Meghan's reaction to the Dodgers' win appearing performative for the camera, with Harry allegedly unaware that the video would be shared with the world. He didn't put up a front. He simply acted how he truly felt. Though the essay wasn't the only spark during the remembrance period, what many could dub as a classic Harry move, attention also turned to the fact that Harry's quasi-royal tour in Canada coincided with Prince William's appearance in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, at the Earthshot Prize Awards, held at the iconic Museum of Tomorrow. Why is this considered a classic Harry move? Many online observers noted a pattern. Harry's public appearances often seem to coincide with the future king's events. Are these merely coincidences, or a deliberate strategy by the Duke of Sussex? Members of his team argue that the events were purely coincidental and planned a year in advance, with the timing dictated by the charity itself. Some observers insist that this was a calculated move to further strain the relationship between the two brothers, William and Harry. Others claim it was simply an inevitable coincidence, born from complex logistics and nothing more. Journalist Tom Sykes from the Daily Beast argued that it served as an error in judgment and a reminder that the fragile ceasefire between the brothers, even from across the pond, is still very much in place. While King Charles, Queen Camilla, Kate, and little George were all in London paying respects for Remembrance Day, Harry and Meghan were doing the opposite, in what could be described as classic Hollywood style. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex hit Kris Jenner's glitzy James Bond-themed 70th birthday bash, rubbing elbows with star-studded guests like Oprah, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, and countless others. Earlier, they had appeared at the Baby 2 Baby Gala with Serena Williams. Critics have already called this a PR misstep. The photos of Harry partying and living it up couldn't look more different from the royal family's solemn ceremonies. Drama, glamour, and contrast. What else would you expect from the estranged Duke and Duchess of Sussex? The question now is simple. What's next for Harry and Meghan? Their brand has taken hit after hit. Spotify dropped them. Netflix scaled back new projects, their podcast fizzled, and even their public appearances no longer generate the buzz they once did. Royal experts say what many fans quietly suspected: Harry and Meghan's relevance is fading fast. If Harry truly is having second thoughts, could that mean a royal reconciliation is possible, or has the damage already been done? The essay, the awkward videos, the emotional body language, they all paint a picture of a man quietly unraveling, caught between the past he left and the life he tried to build. Whether it's a total meltdown or simply a man longing for his past, one thing's clear: the Duke of Sussex is not the same man he was 7 years ago. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and share if you're following every twist of this royal saga.